Depression is like a long stretch of meaningless days and empty nights. A mind clogged with thoughts that drown you deeper in sadness. It's like falling through a dark pit of hopelessness, crying for help so loud that you can barely make a sound. Depression is being sick and tired of being sick. It's trying to explain to the world that some things look just fine but are broken inside. It's being surrounded by echoes of pain, of silent screams, alone all by yourself in a world full of noise and people. Depression is putting my thoughts and feelings to paper, hoping somehow I can feel better. It's writing poems, trying to describe the torment, trying to explain the chaos in my head. Depression is waking up in a bed that feels more like casket. It's watching all your hope drain through the pores of a basket. Depression is to be ashamed and blamed, broken and fearful, so much that you weep more than you breathe and curse more than you need. Depression is surviving, not living. It's losing, not winning. And I know sometimes pills can offer some distraction, but you know it always comes back like a thief in the night, ready to steal leftovers of joy. Depression is patience, waiting for the last day, the breath that ends this nightmare. Perhaps it's greener on the other side. Maybe your soul would find the rest it deserves, or maybe there is no rest after all. Who knows? Depression is him. The sound of his voice, the way he feasts on lies, the way he pilfers light from darkness, yet is not ashamed to call you a thief. It is daily drunkenness that has made a mockery of your trust, the way every new day ends in memories of ugly yesterdays, the way your home is constantly filled with the stench of chaos. Depression is a mattress, lying flat on the ground, trampled upon by all men in hope for judgment day, the day to crown your virtue, to end your pain and suffering that seems to never come. Depression is success. Success at getting used to living in a soulless body with a joyless mind, having a face bereft of every hint of a smile. Depression is living in the company of voices that keep your imagination distant from reality. It's waking up to discover that your mind has vowed to be an enemy. No wonder your thoughts are always against you. It's being too tired of hearing voices that mock your empty life, so much so that taking it feels more like freedom than suicide. It's seeing a suicide note as a way of telling the world that you tried. You fought hard to stay alive, but somehow you found safety in the company of angels. Depression is feeling like God's afterthought, desperately asking Him to replace your present cross with glory, but feeling like your prayers have become a lullaby for the heavens. Feeling sad as to what the angels drool in their sleep. Maybe that's the only reason why it rains on your parade. Depression is flipping through the pages of your mind, searching for memories, hoping to find a smile, to convince yourself that things haven't always been this bad. Maybe that could also mean that this present darkness will end for a moment. Depression is watching joy ride off in the sunset and knowing she might not be back for generations. The reason the doctor thinks that depression runs in the family, father and child with wrist tattoos, self-harming doesn't seem like a taboo. Maybe it's just an old family tradition. Depression is to sit down and wonder when God will answer a prayer that you have said for so long, looking in the skies and searching for the rainbow, thinking that today might just be your lucky day. Depression is needing self-worth but seeking self-harm. Depression is hiding behind a smiling mask, helping the world to see the good you are still searching for. It is denying yourself the chance for an experience you believe you deserve. Depression is the night that stashes dawn while waiting earnestly for sunrise. It is a lie, the lie we tell the world, we tell our friends, hoping they would believe us and accept us when we reject ourselves. Depression is society, forcing us into a mold we don't belong, helping us see the truth in lies, claiming it's the other side. Depression is yesterday, regret buried under, but keeps coming over, infesting our minds, infecting our souls, feeding us fear and stealing our goals. It's that ugly memory that keeps coming back, reminding us of how much of us we lack. Depression is accepting loss before we fight. It is saying, why fight when we all die? But wondering why suicide has become an option. Depression is like a stream of endless days of questions and struggles, hoping pills will let you out of the bubble. Depression is wanting to be excited, wanting to care for more when nothing seems to make sense. Focusing so hard that all you see is your empty self, all by yourself. Depression is having no confidence, no self-esteem, believing everyone else is right except you. It is choosing everyone else but you, loving everyone else but you, always thinking you barely count. Depression is a gift, the one we give ourselves every day, thinking we are almost but never quite enough. Always seeking to sink our ships because someone else is better. Depression is a sore. We hate it, but day by day we pick on it. Maybe that's why it's getting deeper. Depression is viewing the world through a dark lens, but hoping for the best. It's being the one who knows there is more behind a smile than lips and teeth. Depression is seeking a happier version of you so hard you are unwilling to search. It is hiding from the very sight of joyful days, but wondering why you are feeling under. Depression is now the way things are, the way we are, the way right feels wrong and wrong feels right, the way everything seems better upside down. Depression is a meal, the one I have every day, the very one that chokes me, reminds me that food is not meant to be eaten, the reason puking has become my escape. Freedom has never been softer. Through my throat and out of my mouth, let the world know that food doesn't solve every problem. Depression is you. The way you look at me like I'm loony and pretend to forget you were once in my shoes. Depression is here, it's now, the west, the east, the north, the south, this place, the state, the hate, the reason I seek an escape, curled up in my bed because there is no one else to blame, and even if there were, they would call me insane. Depression is hell on earth, strife for every breath, pain for every day, and trust me, it's not what you think. Not an emotion that makes you sad and walk in slow motion, or a feeling that makes you antisocial. It's a disease, a sentence that puts you behind bars and hurts you without a single word or sentence. Depression is like the ocean. Waves of water flowing through the mind, washing down pride, quenching every smile and banishing every thought that seems bright. And please don't hug me, cause your hugs can't heal me. And don't say you are sorry for my pain or say that you understand what I'm going through, because you don't. Depression is lack. It's having all but the answers to questions that keep you up at night. Depression is trying to take your life and save it at the same time. It's writing your suicide note with one hand and calling for rescue with the other. Depression is trying to soothe pain with pain, finding comfort in needles and cuts, bruises, hoping to gain conviction that life is worth living. Depression is expectation, the one that never matches up to reality. It's hoping for the best, but getting all but the best. Depression is to us like the weather, watching darkness creep into your day, but standing down, helpless, thinking maybe there is nothing wrong with being in the dark. Thinking maybe nightmares are meant for a reason. Depression is hearing your eulogy from a distance, tomorrow promising the end of you. Depression is you. It's me. It's us. The way we blame the world for everything that's wrong. Hope for change but unwilling to change. Asking questions when we already have the answers. Looking for pieces of us in others, hoping they are the remedy to the emptiness we feel. Depression is believing you can't when you can. It's thinking you're second best when you're all that it takes and have all that it takes. Don't sit down and watch your joy slip away, 'cause you have the power to break away. And hey, it doesn't matter your age, you can still make waves, 'cause now the sun shines, you can still make hay. So go get help today. Don't let depression be an excuse.